play my theme music.
It's already playing, Dane, because this is our podcast.
Wow.
Episode 107 of the Until Next Week podcast. I saw a weird poll recently, and I don't usually get into like lots of religion stuff because that's your job.
Oh, right.
But it was like the Latter-day Saints or whatever, and they had a poll, and it was like the percentage of people that are like male or female, and it was kind of surprising like which one like had the majority in like the religion.
I'm a male.
But who do you think had more between the two?
Well, are there more girls or guys in church?
Yeah.
Easily girls.
No, there's more men.
No, I don't believe that. There's easily more girls.
It was a joke.
Oh.
Mormon. Okay. That was a good
men.
joke. Jack, that should have been your joke. He didn't catch it.
No.
I think it was good. But this is episode 107 of the Until Next Week podcast.
Jokes like that are why I can't sleep at night. Welcome back.
That was a good joke. And you didn't catch it. I thought you would catch it when I was trying to explain it.
Why would I get that?
And I couldn't say, like, do you think there's more men or more women in it? So I had to go with the males or females, and you still didn't catch the joke.
No, I didn't get that.
Why would I call it Latter-day Saints?
Church of Latter-day Saints.
I call it by the slang. I call the Mormon.
I don't know. I don't read up on the Mormons that much.
But you knew Latter-day Saints were Mormon, right?
Yeah, and I can't read, though.
That is true. Okay, well, we're on our road to 105-star reviews. That's all we got to say. If you want to leave us a review, please do it. That would be awesome. And
there it is.
Yeah, that's all we really got before we kind of jump in because we have not recorded.
You're going to ask me about LSD?
No, that's Latter-day Saints. That was in our intro. And then if you saw below, it says Road to 105-star reviews. So now we're in that section where it says updates from the week.
No.
It's kind of, I know we've only done this for over 2 years, but there is a progression that we're still keeping pretty consistent.
Here's one thing I want to say to the entire world now.
Just do it. I'm ready.
If TikTok gets banned, we're not doing the podcast anymore.
Because we post so much on TikTok. Like, we are going to lose our entire following of, 13 followers? How many do we have?
All of them.
Yeah.
And if
TikTok gets banned, you might be on time.
No, I'll be so upset. And
you'll go to Instagram Reels.
I'm always on time because you're always late.
But I beat you today.
No.
Again, like every time I think you might beat me, but I've gotten to the point where no, he's not going to be there. I even brought you a Mountain Dew.
True.
And you're quote unquote sober and not drinking soda.
I am sober.
Why?
Because I was writing my sermon tomorrow for children.
And you had to be sober to write properly?
Yes.
But I thought you're doing this for the entire year. Or is it only for 2 days while you're writing a sermon?
I've been sober ever since January 1st, which is 11 days now. Wow. And it's been the worst experience of my life. Easily.
Did you drink any soda on New Year's Eve?
Oh my God. We're getting into that later.
Wait. But did any of that happen to be after 12 a.m.? Because you already broke your sober streak.
Actually, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I don't remember.
You're good. I mean, either way, it's still the first. I was just seeing if you could say I've been sober since last year.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, again, we have not recorded since the 30th, which means there's a lot of time to make up on. One of which, again, New Year's Eve, we touched on it briefly. Didn't do like a ton of crazy stuff, but like for myself individually, I did go to a fan of the podcast house.
Lauren?
No, she's not really a huge fan, but yeah. I was with her at Emily Abbott's house.
Oh,
yeah. See, it was Lauren, Morgan, Emily, obviously, because it was at her house, so we had to invite her.
So true.
That's usually the nice thing to do. Have it at their house, you invite them as well.
I don't know.
And then she also had her best, item she had at her house was a candle. And I want you to guess what the scent of the candle was, or what it was called.
S'mores.
I don't think you're going to get it. Oh. It's called Bofa. Bofa D's Nuts candle. We did not light it, but it stood out.
Did you not smell it?
I did not smell Bofa D's Nuts candle, but it was there on display, and I'm like, that's nice. That's a good candle.
Michael Fuller just texted me twice.
Oh, no.
Said, please stay in Missouri. I'll miss you.
Oh, so he's listening now. He texted me out of the blue a couple days ago, and he was like, he was basically trying to figure out like what issue I had. He was like, do you have like a cranial aneurysm or something along those lines? I'm like, where's this coming from? And I was like, it was a temporal artery aneurysm. And it's like, why do you need to know? I'm like, just curious. I'm like,
Well, yeah, that's the thing about science majors and medical people.
Yeah.
Is they just like, they want to touch my veins and they want to ask me all about my diseases. And I'm like, hey, first off, we just push that stuff down and pretend like it doesn't happen, because then we freak out whenever it does happen. Yeah. And so it doesn't happen every other day of the week, which is also my other update of the week, which is cancer update.
Okay. Do you want to get into that, or do you want me to finish my New Year's Eve stuff?
Mine's super brief. All I did was get the scan on Wednesday, and this past Wednesday, and then I'll find out the results this Wednesday, 10:20 Central Standard Time.
Which will be after the release time of this episode, which means episode 108 will either be great or not great.
I hate this every time because, those are the options.
Stinks.
It's, am I going to live or am I going to die? Well,
tune in next week to find out.
Man. Yeah. What a hook.
Wow. This is going to be another good episode, it sounds like.
Either way, I'll be here because I'll probably make it till next week.
I think you will be.
Well, we don't know that.
I mean, as long as you don't hear the results beforehand, you'll be there.
100%. I'm not dying of cancer. I'm going to die a different way.
Shout out.
A duel. I would rather die in a duel.
Mm-hmm. Lightsaber?
I mean, if that's
that'd
an
be kind of cool.
Sure.
That would be a good option.
Actually, I'd be scared. I don't want to get like my arm cut off. That'd be lame.
But you said you want to die that way.
No, I want to die in a epic way. I was thinking explosion, but not like...
I did see there's this guy on I think it was Instagram Reels, because that's the real good place to go nowadays. Of this guy who was eating ice cream. And it's like, if it's too hard, just throw your spoon in the microwave for a few seconds and it'll heat right up. Make it easier to scoop.
I mean, it will.
Yeah.
But no,
you can
myself, I'll just spontaneously explode. That's what it'll be.
Could we not do that a day we record? Because
it'll be
I need to hold this podcast going no matter what.
It'll be in the ocean.
Okay. Well, whatever it takes. So anyways, besides the cancer update and briefly New Year's Eve, we also had plenty of Martinellis to go around at Emily's house, just alcohol. Crazy drinkers. And then a couple other main highlights was we played Dutch Blitz, which, have you ever played that before?
No, because I'm under the age of 40.
That is true. It is an old-timey game. But have you ever played Blink before?
No, because I'm under the age of 90.
It's basically just a very fast-paced game where you're trying to get rid of 10 cards.
Yeah.
And we played several rounds. At first, the ladies, because I was the only male there, were a little questionable, hey, do we want to play this game? I'm like, you'll enjoy it. And 2 rounds in, they're like, okay, this is good. This is a good game.
Because girls are cheaters.
They weren't very good at it because I won most of the games.
See?
Yeah. Besides that, we also played Quiplash.
Oh, Quiplash is fun.
And just before I go further, how do you go about playing Quiplash? What's your mindset when someone says, hey, Quiplash, let's go?
I say right now, let's do it.
Yeah.
And if somebody buy it though.
Yeah, but if someone has it, how do you personally play?
On the TV.
Yes, but what's your strategy behind? Because obviously you can get a little wild on answers.
For sure.
Or be a little tame. And it also depends who you're playing around.
Being tame is the worst.
So you just go crazy no matter who you're around.
Okay. So this is my philosophy for life: is I gauge the room.
Wait, we're talking about Quiplash, not life.
No, I know.
We'll get into life and Monopoly next week.
No, this applies for life.
Okay.
As a professional comedian, which is just my title, if you check out my Instagram, it says comedian.
Yep, it does.
It does.
Maybe.
And it does.
It's in Braille, though. You have to put your finger over the screen to feel it.
No, you have to press the follow button
in
order to feel it.
Sometimes it takes a few days to get sent. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, so you gauge the room and you're just like, okay, who is in this room? Or is there anybody serious? Is there old people? What is it going to be? Because my humor with old people is different than my humor with young people.
That's true.
And so then I gauge the room and I figure out who I'm around and I take it just one step further than what I think they think is appropriate. Because then they'll be like, oh, this
guy's hilarious.
This dang guy.
Man, you should start a podcast. Well, funny you mentioned that.
No, they never say that to me because they don't know what podcasts are.
That is true.
They're old.
That is true. But
yeah, be absurd.
I kind of go that same route. There was a time where I played with coworkers and I was like, I got to be tame at first. Mm-hmm. And then it got a little crazy. I'm like, okay, I can play with a little bit of fire here.
Yeah.
I got a little crazier on some responses during this game just based on who I was around. But there is one prompt that was given to me and I want to hear what you would respond with here.
Right,
I'll let you know what I did. It was basically, what would you find in George Bush's living room? I want to hear what you went with, and I'll tell you what I had.
Airplane parts.
I had a deconstructed Twin Towers Lego set. Horrible.
See, that's horrible.
It got both the votes though.
Yeah, it
because
did.
it has the shock factor and just. I don't know. I'm sorry for everybody that's insensitive, but it was.
Yeah,
it was
Samuel,
funny.
not funny. Unreal.
As soon as I got the prompt, that popped in my head so fast, and I'm like, I know I'm going to get every vote here.
You know who's a big George Bush fan?
HW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Fuller.
I mean, George, did you see, again, I don't say, not funerals aren't great in general,
True.
But Jimmy Carter had his funeral the other day, and there's a clip of George Bush walking by Obama.
Yep.
He didn't shake his hand. He just hit him in the chest. Like, he does not care.
I saw
He just does whatever he wants to do. And
take it.
like,
So true.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, people either hate him or love him. There's no.
Or both.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't, he does not care.
Exactly.
So it's great.
Ow. And then
what were you saying though?
I was gonna say that I saw an AI generated clip of Trump and Obama punching each other at the funeral.
Well, because they were talking and like laughing around, and it's
Yeah.
just like, man, what are those two saying?
And the comment section was like, "Don't let this video get put on Facebook. Boomer's gonna go crazy." That's so true. They don't know what AI is.
It's like, I don't. Okay, whatever. It's like that little that clip of like the kids on social media. And it's like, see, kids don't know racism, and it's like the little white kid and the little black kid running, give each other a hug. Same idea, same energy.
Samuel's a racist.
That's no. I said it was the same energy as that clip, and I was like, they're just chilling. It could be also that they had the presidents ordered between like the oldest, not oldest.
It was the newest.
Well, it was like the order of when they were elected.
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
had the Clintons and then the Bushes and then Obama. Michelle was not there. I don't know why.
She was in
Hawaii or something.
Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, just vacationing.
Right.
And then it was Trump, and then in the front was the current president.
Who's that?
It's Biden currently. At this point of recording, it is Biden.
You mean Michael's adopted father?
Yeah, Michael's adopted to all of them.
So true.
But his favorite by far is still Bill Clinton because of his crazy saxophone.
Because Bill Clinton,
His crazy sax.
and Monica Lewinsky's child is Michael Fuller.
Well, no, that doesn't add up.
Yes,
That
it
doesn't-
does.
I mean, unless it was later on.
I don't know.
Okay, we can stop. Wow, I didn't that wasn't even in the notes. Go figure.
That's all my updates of the week.
Yeah. Besides that, so then we got into the New Year's. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
And I mentioned before I was going to Miami for my friend's second wedding to the same person.
Whoa.
And overall, it was a pretty good time. It was a hectic 4-ish days because we left on New Year's Day. And I'm not necessarily an individual who needs to get to the airport super early, especially Springfield. But Lauren and I both went down, and she was like, we need to get there at least 2 hours early. It's going to be really busy on New Year's Day. We walked in, never seen a quieter. There was no one in that airport, like whatsoever.
Because they already left.
That was pretty much it, yeah. So got some coffee. Luckily, they said, hey, we can get some refills. So I got 2 cups of coffee, and then we flew down to first in Charlotte because there was a connection flight, got some Shake Shack there, and then we went the rest of the way down to Fort Lauderdale.
I've never been to Shake Shack.
It's pretty good.
Do they have
What are you
shacks
looking at? You're just like moving around like crazy.
There's a squirrel outside, and I'm watching
All
it.
I see is a window and a brick wall.
I know, but you don't get to see the squirrel. So the's a fence line right here.
Is he
out the
playing?
window.
Is he playing with his food?
No, he was itching his face.
Okay.
And I wanted to watch him itch his face.
He's just moving around. You kind of look like Stevie Wonder, just kind of vibing to your music.
I was like craning my head way off to the side.
But yeah, then we got picked up in Fort Lauderdale by Jordan, who was the person getting married a second time to the same person, Laura. Then he drove us to where we're staying that night in Miami. And it was pretty cool. We saw the Dolphin Stadium. It's not very active right now.
Hard Rock
because
Cafe.
they're bad. And then, yeah, it was just kind of crazy being in warmer weather, all things considered, because
Sweater
Miami
weather.
is warmer than Springfield.
It's like 80 degrees there right now.
Yeah, it was a big shock because we went from being in shorts to basically a winter weather storm hitting Springfield and being 10 degrees, got 6.5 inches of snow. I'm like, wow, literally a week ago from recording right now, I was in the air.
We need more snow.
I believe. Snow's fun.
I want 8 feet of snow.
I want to go sledding later. I think I might.
No. You're going to
Okay.
watch playoff football later.
Well, that's what you're going to do.
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as we don't go forever recording.
Which leads us.
Well, I was going to say some other
to our
stuff about Miami.
snow
I
Miamis.
was going to say a little bit
The
more
snow-
because all I
yeah.
said was I arrived in Miami.
You are in Miami.
I am, but now we are recording remote.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I didn't let you know that. But basically, there was a 4 days we were gone, 2 of which were just like all travel. Our main like Airbnb we stayed at was like this giant. I don't know, giant. It was like a compound. It was like 2 houses. I know. That's the best way to describe it.
Like Waco?
That whenever I kept saying compound, that's what kind of came to mind. But it was not a Waco situation.
I don't know.
We were in Miami. But basically, it had Laura and Jordan, who were the ones having the wedding. They had a lot of like family and friends there, and there was like 2 different buildings, probably 20 plus beds.
Right.
Like so many.
Did you share food and crops and
they
supplies
made
and
me
money?
like do a blood oath thing, which is kind of weird. But overall, it was pretty good. They had a pickleball court on this compound. They had a outdoor swimming pool, which was heated. Where like,
Why is it heated?
Because it can still be a little chilly.
It's a bazillion degrees there.
But it was nice. Like it was like to the temp where if it was in Springfield right now, where we have all the snow, you would want to go in there. Like that's how warm it was. It was basically bath water.
Well, swimming sucks.
But it was kind of nice.
We've established this. Swimming's the worst.
When's the last time you swam outdoors at the beginning of January?
Never.
And
Ever,
was
ever,
comfortable?
ever.
Yeah, see? That's what you're missing out on.
I don't want to.
Oh, wait, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Swimming's the worst.
Besides that, they had like a little putting green area, but they did not have putters. They had drivers.
Obviously.
So we had to putt with drivers, which made a lot of sense. They also had a giant chess set, which I played 1 game against Lauren and destroyed her. I let her know that once a pawn goes all the way to the other side of the board,
you get a piece back.
It becomes a queen.
Like,
That's what happens.
No.
That's what happens.
You get one of your pieces
it just becomes a queen.
out of exile.
No, it becomes a queen, which is awesome.
Write in the notes who's right.
No, that's not it.
Right in podcast world. Tell us who's right.
You can let us know in the comments who's right. I believe I am right because I am right. That's my reasoning here. The only other main like weird thing is, so they had like a pool room for like a pool table.
Ooh.
And
wait, who won the pool tournament whenever we play for K-Life?
You did.
Oh, I did.
You did. You're sorry. I forgot. Yeah. But they had a giant piece of artwork on the wall.
Jake Trustner?
I wish. I don't think you would have drawn this.
True.
But I want you to take your wildest guess on what it is, and they'll give you 1 hint, and they'll give you 1 more guess, and then I'll tell you.
Hippopotamus fighting a lion.
Okay, it is political related.
Oh.
A politician.
Okay, hippopotamus fighting a lion.
Close. It was a giant, like basically entire wall piece of art that was Bernie Sanders in his mask with his arms crossed from like the lecture or the inauguration like 4 years ago.
That's
I'm
awesome.
Like, what piece of art?
I wish I had that.
They had some weird art. They had like another thing, which was like it might have been like a human body with like a bird's head. I don't know.
I could see that.
There is some weird stuff.
That's abstract.
I think it was all available for purchase, but I could not get it on my carry-on.
That's the people who say, but I'm not like other girls.
What?
When they have the paintings where it's a bird with like a car as a head.
And something like random.
Yeah.
Okay. Just few quick hits. Had lots of fresh fish while I was there.
I want fish.
It was so good. It was nice. I did not see the ocean
What?
while I was there in Miami until I was back in the plane on my way home.
Dang it.
On the way there and on the way home is the only time I saw it, which was in the air.
Did you see Jack Holmgren?
No, because he's more like in Tampa area, which is like 4 hours away. I know. He missed out on seeing me. That's
So
what I'm
true.
saying. And then finally, again, they had the wedding. It was really awesome, fun, lots of people, etc. But one of the big things was I had to give a speech, like
Yes,
a
you did.
best man speech. But it's kind of weird
Again.
because it wasn't just me giving a speech. It was me and Lauren.
Oh.
Because we were, I guess, his best man and best woman, but it's not like she's like the maid of honor. It was like we were both his best man.
Like, from my rib.
Yeah, it was a little confusing, but we prepped the speech. Lauren had hers written way in advance. I finished mine the night before.
Obviously.
I started mine the day before.
Of course.
And we gave it kind of tag team where she would do a section. I would do a section, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let me tell you, we had so many people in tears.
Dang it.
And we had I almost started crying, but I held it back. But I look over at Laura and Jordan, they're bawling. Like other people I heard like later were crying, and like people we don't even really know. We known them for 24 hours.
Can't believe you forced them to cry.
We just, what we're saying is we're going to start a business.
Oh, crying business?
And we're going to write emotional speeches for people who do not know how to write speeches at weddings.
Low-key, probably a market for that.
I think we could do it. I mean, it was a very, very, multiple people came up and said it was a great speech. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest speech maker of all time, but I am.
You could write Trump's inauguration speech. And I think you should.
You know he's not going to write a speech.
Well, why would
you know he's going to go up there like, I'm back. And then he's going to say stuff he's going to mumble for 4 hours. He's
like, well, this was a long 4 years, but we're going to own Canada here pretty soon. Mexico and Greenland.
And then we're also going to have the Gulf of Buckies.
The Gulf of Buckies. That's crazy.
I started seeing those articles. I'm like, this can't be serious, right?
He's going to be like, day one, we're going to buy Canada. We're not even going to buy Canada. They're going to secede from nothing and then become us. And okay.
They're going to secede because they didn't succeed.
Exactly. They can't make their own monies.
But overall, the biggest highlight of the entire trip to Miami was I got to use a bidet for the first time.
That's disgusting. Why would you do that to yourself?
Have you ever used one?
I'm not French, so no.
It was so weird.
Well, yeah.
But effective.
No. I don't care how effective it is. I ain't using it because I'm a red-blooded American.
No, you could just hire someone, like with a super soaker, like, hey.
That's
no. It's not. And that's the Miami trip. So there you go. And we mentioned it snowed recently here in Springfield, but do you have any other updates? Or is that about it for you? Should we go into our next segment?
I think our next segment is something relevant to America right now because it is time for Sports Talk
with Dane and Samuel. And Michael's not here to say whatever he said a few weeks ago, even though that episode was very popular. So thank you, Michael, for being on the episode. And we don't like talking about soccer.
No soccer.
No. Kyle Hebert, we still love you.
Give us all of your monies, Kyle.
Yes. I don't have a lot of updates. The big one is the fantasy football final happened for the Until Next Week podcast, and we did not care anymore because week 17 and 18 were together. Week 18 was just like, no, we don't want to play anymore.
True.
We don't really care because Dane and I played against each other. I played absolutely horrible, and Dane beat me for third place.
Sure did.
And then in the finale, it was Ryan Walkwell, and Austin Mesner, and it wasn't even a battle. I'm sorry, Austin. It wasn't a battle. Ryan destroyed you. You barely got in the first place. You know I should have been there, but even I played bad. I don't know. Ryan by far had the best team at the end. That happens a lot, I feel like.
To be fair, Ryan and Austin cheated to get to the championship.
They did. They allowed some trades to go through, which honestly hurt us in the end. And they kept calling it collusion.
Yeah.
But no. You had the ability to recall those trades.
So true.
And they both went through.
All I know
cleanly. There was literally nothing wrong with what we did.
Is majority of the league voted for it to go through.
Yes.
However,
yours, who knows what even happened? Mine was like legitimate. Like we did not wait until the end to see if it hit them out. We're just like, hey, at this moment in time, we'll see where the votes are at, which is not protocol. It tied. So the only like reasonable thing to do was to have Jack's wife flip a coin, and it went in my favor.
Man, big shout out to Jack's wife.
Of course, again, he never posted a video of it happening, and he could have been doing this all as collusion as well.
Whoa.
I don't know. But yeah, Ryan
Mrs. Holmgren.
Ryan ran away with the league, so he can't play in it again next year.
Wow.
We forgot to say that's what you get for winning.
If I had never made the trade, I would have went to the championship.
Or if you would have started the Commanders guy instead of Jalen Hurts.
Well, here's the thing. If the trade doesn't go through, I picked up Bo Nix, who ended up getting 60 or something points that week, and Jalen Hurts only got me 7 points, and I lost by 40.
The trade didn't do anything for me. Yeah. Like, yes, tight end George Kittle.
He
did fine, but tight ends aren't super valuable in that league. So it's not like, I was still losing by like 40, 50 points. The main thing was like the final week against Austin, Josh Allen got me like 12 points instead of 80. That was the biggest thing. My guys just did nothing.
There's a way you can do a tight end premium league.
What I want to do, what does the premium mean? It means 2 tight ends?
No, their stats will be different than everybody else's. Like if they get a catch, it's worth like 2 points instead of 1 point.
I kind of like that because they're treated as wide receivers.
Right.
And a lot of tight ends don't get a lot of passes.
Yeah, it depends on the year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I wasn't very confident with my team, like going the last few weeks of the season. That happened to me last year in my work league. Like I dominated the regular season, but I'm like, I won't win the championship. Same thing happened this year.
Well, because it's
dominated, and then the playoffs hit. I'm like, they're just not doing anything.
There's 2 seasons within one fantasy football season. There's the first half and the second half. First half is like goes according to script, who drafted the best people, and then injuries start to happen, and then by the second half of the season, it's totally it's a whole different thing.
But at the same time, I only lost, I think, 2 games.
Yeah,
and then I won. I think I lost 2 of my first 4, and then I won 10 in a row. And then cannot win anything else the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, because everything changes. The only thing,
but none of my guys were injured.
The only thing that is certain is that nothing stays the same.
I was annoyed. And Joe Mixon was one of the most all over the place players. He either would give me everything or just absolutely nothing.
Well, he's also a domestic violence person.
Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking Kareem Hunt.
He also is a domestic violence person. Joe Mixon in college hit his girlfriend when he was at Oklahoma, which is why I can't be an Oklahoma fan.
Next you're going to tell me that Deshaun Watson should have been my quarterback.
Well, he just now had his Achilles surgery. He tore it like a month and a half ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's basically all the fantasy football stuff. Besides that, the Packers lost their final game of the regular season to the Bears, who they have not lost to since 2018.
Wow.
And it ended up costing them the number 6 seed in the playoffs. So now they will be playing the Eagles
way harder
tomorrow when we're recording, which means on Monday they played them yesterday. Yeah. So hopefully they won, but we'll get into some playoff stuff here in a bit.
Would you rather play the Eagles or the Rams?
Rams.
Yeah, for sure.
The Rams. Like the Rams Commanders game is like neither. I don't.
Well, they're playing in Arizona now too.
Oh, I didn't. I saw the Cardinals were sending their plane. I didn't realize they were.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're playing there. I think Arizona just provided their plane to the Rams to get them out of there and be able to practice at the Cardinals facility before the game.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's who knows what will happen here. If the Packers beat the Eagles, the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. But if they don't, then I don't think they will.
No. So,
okay, you tell me your sports update, Stain.
Jerry Jones is screwing America.
Okay, sorry.
Jerry Jones screwed over Cooper Rush, who was the Cowboys' backup quarterback, because Cooper Rush had an incentive in his contract.
I saw this, and I want to rebut it as soon as you say it.
He had an incentive in his contract where if he played a certain percentage of snaps, he would get a $500,000 bonus for the season. And all he had to do was play the last game. And Jerry Jones goes, we're starting Trey Lance instead. And then, of course, the Cowboys lose. Trey Lance is terrible. But we give a 4th-round pick for him because we think that's fun. And then, also, we're not scheduling interviews with anybody for a head coach. No.
I was seeing that, and I'm like, what are you doing, Jerry?
Like Mike Vrabel's meeting with people. Ben Johnson is interviewing with people. All the other head coaches are interviewing with everyone. And I'm just like, Jerry, listen to me. What are we doing? What are we doing, Jerry? We need to be interviewing people. But instead, we're like, no, Bears, you can't interview Mike McCarthy because we're going to sign him to a lifetime deal probably.
But the thing is also, like, the Bears interviewed Pete Carroll and some other people who seem like much better coaches that would have benefited the Cowboys as well.
I don't think Pete Carroll's going to be a head coach.
You don't think so? You don't think the Bears will get him?
I think they could if they wanted him.
Well,
but
they did interview him.
Well, yeah, they interviewed like 4 or 5 people now.
Yeah. Also, just on the Cooper Rush thing, I don't think it would have mattered if he played because it said he needed around 80 snaps.
Oh, he would have easily gotten it. We're getting it.
That's a lot of snaps in the final game of the season.
We would have ran the ball for 3.3 yards a carry every time. Nope. 2.5 yards a carry every time.
You think he would have got 80 snaps?
He would have gotten 1 million snaps.
80
in that
snaps
game.
is a lot of snaps.
Is a lot of snaps.
Now, it would have been wild if he went 3 quarters and it was at like 60 snaps, and they're like, nah, we're going to sit you the last quarter.
That would have been crazy.
80 is still a lot, because I did see what you saw, and then I saw the 80-ish snap thing. I'm like, he probably wouldn't have got it. But at the same time, they still should have gave him a chance.
Right. Give it a chance, see what happens.
But
and
they need the money for McCarthy.
I know. They need to save all this money for Mike McCarthy so we can sign him to a do you want to own Texas deal? And I don't know why, because Jerry hates us. But
maybe they're using that extra money to put some blinds in the windows.
I don't know, man. Everything is
you guys are wild.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And then also,
you won your last game of the season, so it hurt your draft picks.
Yeah. Well, no, we lost. We lost our last game.
No, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, we're like the number 12 or 13 pick, and they're projecting us to take a safety. And I'm like, well, we need
whatever it takes.
We need a wide receiver too. We need a running back. We need more offensive line help. Need better, sign more linebackers. Need better safeties, and then we'll win the Super Bowl. And we need Dak to stay healthy. And we need a better play caller, and a better defensive coordinator, and then we'll win. And then better blinds, and then a better schedule, and then we'll win the Super Bowl. Just those things. That's all that needs to happen.
I mean, it's just good that you have such good teams to cheer for, because they're doing very great. And then the Cardinals have made so many moves as well.
Yeah, they suck too.
Yeah.
All of my sports teams except for the Celtics suck.
Well, we did pick up Bailey Horn off waivers from the Detroit Tigers.
Who is that?
It's a lefty who has not had good stats, but he does have a very high strikeout percentage in the minor leagues.
Oh, what fun.
So, I mean, he might walk everybody and give up a lot of runs, but he can strike out people when it matters.
Cardinals be claiming people that are just like terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I mean, he isn't necessarily horrible. It's more so horrible that we just haven't done like anything at all besides extend Helsley with his arbitration money.
Oh, that we came to an agreement with him?
Yeah. Before it had to go to the court.
Yeah. But with Lars, we're going to arbitration.
Donovan, and then Palante.
Yeah.
So,
which is like, oh, you mean the 3 guys or 2 of those guys we really like?
Yeah, I mean that happens quite a bit though. Like that, they kind of understand it, but it is a little annoying. I
just don't like arbitration in general.
Yeah, it's not great. Not great.
For those who don't know, arbitration is where both sides will make a case for why they should make more or less money.
Yeah. Yep.
But then
speaking of both sides,
the only last thing I have is Ohio State versus Notre Dame in the college football championship.
Didn't even realize those Catholics are so
Catholics,
good. Talked about Mormons first, now Catholics.
They're playing pretty good.
What next?
Well, these are honestly probably 2 of the top 3 teams that I hate the most in college football.
Nobody likes Notre Dame.
I definitely don't like Ohio State. And yeah, I'm not Catholic, so I don't like Notre Dame.
Yeah, not a great match. Like, who did Notre Dame beat?
They beat Penn State.
But no one likes Penn State either.
I liked Penn State over Notre Dame.
Well, I didn't like Penn State just because, like 10, 15 years ago, they didn't do great stuff, and then that stuck in my mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That's crazy. But also,
who do Ohio State beat?
They beat Texas. Yeah, I really wanted Texas to win.
I would have liked Texas being there. I wouldn't have hated
Texas is goated, but I don't know. One of my friends got mad at me because I hung out with people last night instead of watching the game with him. So,
do you want to say which friend? And we put him on blast right here.
It actually helps right here because his name is Andrew, police officer Andrew.
Wow, that's crazy because we are now in the next segment of our episode, which is grinds.
Ow.
My gears.
That's how my back feels because I shoveled snow all day yesterday.
Ow, that hurt. I almost got arrested last night.
I know. Because you hate the police. That's what this is about.
I did get pulled over.
Dang it.
I've now been pulled over 2 times in my life.
Wow.
The first time was when I was in high school, probably 16, 17 years old. And I got pulled over for the grand crime of not having my license plates currently renewed. And I had no idea because I was just driving the vehicle my parents let me drive.
True.
I'm a dumb high schooler, and I was kind of freaking out. And they're like, "You're okay. You're fine." And then this time I'm like, I don't know what I did. Like I was driving below the speed limit, driving safe, snowy roads, and all of a sudden a cop has the lights on. I'm like, did I run a red light? I have no idea. And it was weird because I wasn't like super panicking, but I'm like, what did I do? So he came up to my window and I quickly pulled out my wallet to show him my ID.
You pulled that out like a gun.
Like, here it is. Here it is.
No, don't do that to the police.
No, he came up and was kind of smiling. And he's like, yeah, that's my bad. I didn't think you had a license plate, but the snow was just covering it. And then he was like, you're good to go. And I was like, do I need to get out and knock it off? And I think he said he might do it. I'm like, okay. Like, it was quick. Like, he literally came up and he was kind of smiling already. He's like, yeah, that's my mistake.
That's because the police always want to arrest us because they heard about us.
I was crossing the border though, because I was in Nixa. So I was a little worried that they were they're like, that Springfield guy, we need his money.
Springfield never, ever, ever will pull you over for anything. Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but as soon as you go to any suburb outside of Springfield, it's like, oh, are you breathing in our county now? Well, we better pull you over.
Yeah. I was just surprised though. I was like, this is so weird, but it was very quick. He was very nice. And I sped away.
Last time I drove to Jeff City for Christmas, I guess, and I was driving down to Springfield.
Yeah.
This police officer merges on the highway behind me, and I'm like, oh, man, he's trying to get me. He won't pass me, won't do nothing.
Yeah.
He stays behind me for like 4 or 5 miles.
That's annoying.
And I'm like, oh, if you want to play this game, we can go real slow. And I slowed down. It's a 70, and I'm going 55 now.
And then they pull you over for going too slow.
No, because I know the minimum. The minimum is 45. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I'm like, we can go 55 for as long as you want, bud.
Yeah.
He finally passed me. And 5 miles later, it went by me. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to win this game. I know you're behind me. And I see that long antenna coming out of your roof. And then he only passed me because a different car passed us going over the speed limit. And he pulled them over.
So he was looking for someone to pull over.
Oh, for sure. Because I saw like 5 or 6 cops on the way down here.
Did you have your Cowboys bumper sticker?
No, because
then I can understand.
I had the Buick. Which gets into my updates.
Okay. No. This is not updates.
Or my gears.
This is still your grinding of your gears.
Speaking of grinding gears.
The sound.
The sound hurts.
Yes.
The gears, the Buick broke, guys.
How? It's such a reliable vehicle.
I know.
Will this affect your trade? Because you were going to trade your vehicles around, I thought.
Well, there's there's layers to this playa.
Layers. It's an onion,
tiramisu,
like Shrek would say.
There's levels to this playa, tiramisu. Mm-hmm. So what happened, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I was going out and hanging out with a friend, and then...
I'm assuming that means it was Jake Trustinart.
Could be.
Probably. No, it's only Jake's body shop.
Could be.
Okay, keep talking.
And so but first I must go down to the courthouse, right? And because I need to go to the courthouse because I have to pay
your marriage certificate fee.
Close.
Okay.
No, I had to pay property tax on the Equinox that I no longer own. My parents were like, hey, you owned it most of the year, so you got to pay the property tax on it. So I go down to the courthouse. And you know what they say to me? They say, Dane, you got a waiver in 2023 for your property tax on your Chevy Equinox. And I said, thank you. And they said, that means you didn't pay it because you bought it in March. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what does that mean? They go, well, that means you had it for 10 months and then you owned it all of 2024. And then you didn't pay your property tax before January 1st. So there's a $78 fee on top of that, meaning your total comes up to $481 of property tax.
What day did you go?
Like January 3rd.
And you have to pay it before January 1st?
Yeah, I guess.
That's annoying.
I know. And
I feel like that seems dumb.
It was dumb. And I didn't know that the waiver meant that I was going to have to pay all this, whatever fees. And then I'm like, this is so ridiculous.
If you wouldn't have had a waiver, would you have to pay that penalty? Or is it only because you had a waiver?
No, I would have paid the penalty anyways because I just waited too long.
So it was good for 2023. You didn't have to pay anything?
I didn't have to pay anything in 2023, but all of 2023, what I did owe for it would have been added on to 2024's rate because they're adding the 2 years together, essentially.
Oh, so you still had to pay for 23.
Yeah.
But you had to wait till 24.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you realize that?
I remembered that I did that because 2023 Dane was like, screw 2024 Dane. He will probably have so much money.
So what you're saying is, please do some support for Dane. Link in the bio.
So then I go out to the Buey and I go,
oh no.
I turn it over and goes, vroom, 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 starts up. And I'm like, oh boy. And then I drive, hang out with my friend, and I turn the car off. And then I go, I'm going to drive away. And I'm like, it goes, vroom, 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 vroom. I'm like, that's not good. And I'm like, well, I don't want to.
Parents scammed you.
Well, I'm like,
Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I told them that. But I turned it off. I'm like, okay, I want to see if I can just start it again before I go anywhere and do my next stuff. Yeah. And I go to start it again. click, just a single click. And I'm like, what the heck? And so then I'm like, maybe my battery's dead. So then I hang out with my friend for a little while longer. And then I said, hey, can you jump in my car with me? And they said, sure. And then
what's a vertical?
I don't know. And then I go down to my car and I'm like, well, let me just see if I can start it before we try and jump it. And I go, boom, starts up. I'm like, okay, I'm not turning it off. But now I'm like,
it's probably pretty high.
Well,
that'd be at least like 42 inches.
Maybe. Dang it. You're ridiculous. But then I'm like, well, I'm not going to turn it off, but I also am not going to take it to a body shop yet, or like like O'Reilly Auto Parts or AutoZone or something like that, because I'm like, I need to make sure it's the battery before I go there, because if it's not the battery, then I'm just stranded at O'Reilly's or AutoZone, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I drive home and I start researching it and looking it up, and everything online is saying that it's the starter. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's the starter, because it's a single click and all the lights come on and the vents will blow air and stuff like that. And then we tried to jump it. Me and Jake's Body Shop tried to jump the battery. Didn't do anything. Still won't start. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. I don't think it's the battery now. I'm pretty sure it's the starter. And I'm like, but I just spent $500 on a car I don't drive.
You said it was like 480.
Okay, it was like 480. And then for a car that I don't even own. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty broke. So then I'm like, well, okay, what am I going to do?
Hey, Mom, Dad, I still have cancer.
No.
Could you?
No. And so I get a ride to church the next day, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't know. And I start just talking about it with people at church, some dudes. Man. Like, yeah, what do you guys think it is?
Did you talk to Pretty Ricky?
I did later, but I start talking to people about it, and I had two different guys say, hey, like, tell me how much it is and I'll pay for it. And I'm like,
$4,000.
No, it was not $4,000. I had one guy say, hey, I'll buy the part and install it for you. And I was like, what?
Is one of these guys a guy that we know who might have connections to a body part place?
Yes.
Yeah. He's awesome. Love that guy.
Yeah. And he's one of the guys who offered to pay for me. And I took him up on that offer. I was like, well, I don't want to take you up on this offer,
and he does have connections.
He does,
which helps a lot.
I was like, I don't want to take you up on this, but I kind of have to. And so then he's like, sure, yeah, just tell me when and I'll call the place and pay for it. And then I call the place and they're like, hey, like, we're not going to be able to get you in until Saturday, which is today.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, how am I going to get there? I got to get towed to. And then Jake's Body Shop says that he can call us AAA and get it towed for free to anywhere I want. But I called them today and they said, hey, we're not towing people because of all the snow today. We're towing people who need to get towed out of ditches.
You never contacted the guy I gave you the contact info for.
No.
And he would come to your place and do it for you.
Well, I don't know how to pay him either.
I mean, so I guess it could be tricky with the other thing. How he does it is he goes to wherever. You kind of tell him what's happening. He double checks to make sure that's the issue.
Yeah.
And then he has a connection with someone at O'Reilly Auto Parts and he gets it at cost, the piece. And then he just charges you what the cost is of the piece that needs to be fixed. And then he just charges you for his labor and he'll bring it back and fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he did on my Heat. Of course, it took like a week. That was an issue. But sometimes he can be quicker. I don't know what he would have been doing for you, but he can at least come to your place and do it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way.
But if you're not paying, do whatever. Go crazy.
I don't want to do that. But also, there's not a way to just run a card over the phone with this guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because this guy goes straight Cash App.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, here's my Cash App. You can just send it. Yeah. We're good.
So what I ended up doing is talking to Pretty Ricky and saying he has a backup car that he's been letting me borrow all week.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And it's a little Ford Fusion. So I've been driving that around. So what I'm saying is I have 3 or 4 people doing me a solid to get this Buick fixed up.
And I'm over here bringing you a Mountain Dew and you don't even drink it.
I would love to drink it, but I
brought
can't.
I'm not trying to tempt you with it.
Well, here's the thing.
But it is right between us.
If my cancer scan comes back clean, then I'll consider it. But if it's not, then it might have been because of the Mountain Dew and I'm just going to die.
It'll probably help your goal for 3 hours or less marathon if you don't drink it.
Well, I told
Also,
Jack
Rebecca
this.
let me know her record is like 306.
Really?
And said it's incredibly...
So
I think she said, or what I was interpreting it as, is that going below 3 hours is incredibly hard.
Oh, yeah.
All I really remember, though, is that she said her best time was 3 hours and like 6 minutes.
3 hours and 6 minutes is really good.
Yeah.
That's just 50 minutes faster than what I ran mine.
Yeah. And only 50, if you go 57 minutes faster or so, then you'll be under your goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's where we're going.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that's what grinds my gears is the car's exploding, and I don't like this car anyways.
So your car's exploding. You want to combust to die. And I think it's time to get into our main segment, which is our playoff predictions.
We're doing a big playoff prediction.
We haven't done this since last year.
Exactly, but we do it every year. So we have to predict. And as of right now...
Did we do it 2 years ago? We probably did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
We probably did.
Actually, 2 years ago,
we can check the
started...
notes.
Actually, yeah, we did. We would have.
Yeah.
And so...
We started January 1st. First episode, I believe, of 2023.
So we would have done it probably.
And then 24 did all that. Now we're 25.
Yeah. And so now we're doing this playoff predictor before the playoffs officially start at 3:30 today. And we're going to let everybody know our thoughts. And so if you think we're wrong, you obviously know we're wrong because it's Monday whenever you're listening to this.
Okay.
I want to beat other people.
And that's the mentality Dane is bringing into these picks.
I do.
And so are these teams. They're trying to beat other people. And we'll just quickly go through the matchups. We have the Bills and Broncos on AFC. We have the Ravens and Steelers AFC. The Texans and Chargers AFC. The Chiefs have a bye with the refs. The Eagles play the Packers in the NFC. The Buccaneers play the Commanders or the Redskins in the NFC. And then the Rams, who used to be from St. Louis, and they still should be, but they're in L.A., which is on fire, is playing the Vikings, NFC, and then the Lions.
The Rams brought the fire to L.A.
Yeah. That kind of stinks that place is burning down, but I don't really have anything else to say besides our picks. First one, Broncos, Bills. Who are you going with?
Oh, I get to pick first?
I think we'll both say. We could say it 1, 2, 3, Bills. Wow.
Imagine that.
Pretty easy. Josh Allen might win the MVP. He's a very, very, very good quarterback.
It's in Buffalo.
I don't see there being any chance that he does not beat Bo Nix.
Yeah, the Broncos is just a year early for them, maybe 2 years early before them. So they're just a young team that's not going to be able to compete with Superman.
Ravens, Steelers. 1, 2, 3, Ravens.
That's
Was
hard.
it really that tough?
It's a little tough because it's like
they didn't look that good end of the year. Steelers.
I really expect the Ravens to win, but it's that divisional thing. Mike Tomlin's going to pull out the stops for it.
Yeah.
If the only way the Steelers win if they can grind it down to a halt for scoring and have this like they're running the ball effectively and controlling the ball.
Ravens have arguably one of the best quarterbacks in football, Lamar Jackson, and one of the greatest running backs of all time, and Derrick Henry.
Oh,
yeah. So
that's why I'm picking the Ravens.
Yeah, easy pick.
I'm just saying this is the only way the Steelers can win is if they do that.
Yeah. Texans, Chargers. 1, 2, 3, Chargers. Wow, we both went with the lower seed.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize the Texans were in the playoffs.
I think the Texans are a mess.
I saw like the stats for quarterback for Texans. Going blank. What's his name?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah. He's been bad this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't think they made the playoffs, and they're the 4 seed.
Well, they had a bad O-line going into the year, and then they've had injuries on the O-line, and it's just gotten worse. And then injuries at the receiving core. They're just pretty injured.
Yeah.
And I think the Chargers are coached better, too, and have the better quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know them super well, but I would tend to agree. The main thing is just, I didn't even realize the Texans were in it. And I thought Stroud had been pretty bad this year. Yeah. The only thing where I would have picked the Texans is they had a hype video on their Instagram with Lecrae. And I'm like, I like Lecrae, and he's friends with CJ.
That doesn't mean you could pick them.
And that's why I picked the Chargers.
Dang it.
So there we go. We're all on the same note on the AFC side. Shout out to us. Yeah. And I think the Chiefs will accept their bye week.
And I'm pretty sure the NFL reseeds after the first round.
They do.
Yeah, so it won't be Chiefs Bills.
The lowest seed. I didn't realize that until like last year. But the lowest seed will then play the highest seed. It's so weird.
Right. So in our scenario, the Chiefs will be playing the Chargers and the Ravens will be playing the Bills. But do we want to do NFC first?
Yeah, we'll go NFC. We'll start at the bottom here in the list. Vikings, Rams. 1, 2, 3. Vikings. Again, I don't think the Rams are that good. Kind of surprised they're in the playoffs.
Well, Vikings are...
Wait. They're in a bad division.
Who? Rams?
The Rams. That's why. I forgot about that because they have horrible numbering system or whatever.
Oh.
Where like the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions should be like 3 of the top 4 seeds in it. But no, the Vikings are a 5 seed and the Packers are a 7 seed. And then there's the 4 seed Rams, which are like 9 and 8 or 10 and 7.
Well, it makes the divisions worth winning then.
I know there's a reason, but it's just annoying.
Or else there'd be no point in divisions.
I know.
And we'd be the NBA then.
I know. And that's the argument that they try to make for MLB. And I like having the divisions there.
Yeah.
But still,
I think the Buccaneers have a worse record than the Packers too.
Yeah.
I think they're 10 and 7.
I think. I bet you're right. Okay, so we agreed. We said Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings moving on.
Vikings looked great this year. Did they beat the Lions the last game?
No, they lost both.
They lost.
The Lions
but they played very well, which is surprising.
They
with Sam Darnold, who were like, Darnold. And they're like, he's so bad. And then they put him on a good team. It's like, oh, he's so good. And now he's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Well, this is true of life in general. If you're in a good situation, you'll probably be like performing better than if you're in a really bad situation.
Yeah. It helps if you have good people around you.
Yeah.
So that's our life lesson of the week.
Yeah. This next one is hard. Buccaneers and
Commanders. Redskins.
Yep. I don't know.
1, 2, 3 Buccaneers.
I don't know.
I'm going Bucks. Baker Mayfield I saw that video at the beginning of the year where he went with the season ticket holders. He dressed up as another man and just showed great personality, grit, told the people, they're like, this is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl. It's what they were saying to him because they did not know he was Baker. And he's just like, yeah, maybe we'll see or whatever. I don't know.
I think
I want to go with him just because the Buccaneers, in like a real scenario, I think a Buccaneer pirate would beat a commander in a fight.
I think I'm going to take the Commanders.
You're running all of this now.
I know, because it's going to be hard now for us.
I know.
But yeah, I think the Commanders, because I think the Buccaneers kind of sneaked into the playoffs. They were just the least worst of the entire NFC South. And I think the Commanders actually played good football, have better coaching now with Dan Quinn. Love him. And I think Jaden Daniels is the X factor. And I think if Baker plays lights out, they'll win. But it's a tough game for me, but I think I'm going to take the Commanders.
Okay. And then the Eagles and the Packers. 1, 2, 3 Packers.
Eagles. Yeah, of course you take the Packers.
Packers almost beat the Eagles first game of the season. They probably would have or had a very good chance to if Jordan Love didn't die on like the last few snaps. They lost by less than a possession. The only losses for the Packers this year, 2 from the Vikings, both which were like 3 points difference. 2 against the Lions, 1 which was like 3 points difference. The other one was like 10 points. And the first one where they lost by like 10 was right after Jordan Love, I believe, was coming off injury. And then they lost 1 against the Bears because, again, Jordan Love only played like 1 quarter or 2 quarters, and then he had to come out, and they still almost won. As long as Jordan Love is able to play like normally, which I think they're expecting him to play, then I think they can beat them.
No.
I still don't think the Eagles are that great of a team. Whenever I see them, I'm just like, I don't really believe in you.
I'm not blown away by them, but I think they're better than the Packers. Because I think everything that they do, or everything the Packers do, the Eagles do better. Because they have a better running back. I think their quarterback is better. And I think their O-line is better.
But we have, I think, better wide receivers and a better defense.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
We have a lot. I mean, they're not big name guys.
Deeper receivers, deeper receiving core, I should say.
I think we have, as a whole, better wide receivers and a better defense, but it is a little tricky on the offense side.
Well, and it's going to be in Philly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if it was in Green Bay, it'd be tougher.
Well, yeah, because again, like, I think one of the only 7 seeds to beat like a number, like a higher seed, like a 2 seed, like recently, anytime was the Packers last year against the Cowboys.
No.
Because everybody's like, the Cowboys will
never happen.
No chance. And then the Packers just went off and obliterated them.
I don't want to talk about last year.
And then the Cowboys were horrible the next year. So it looks like the Packers are beating the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to go into a rebuild next year. You are going down, Eagles.
I hope they do.
You heard it here first.
I hate the Packers slightly less than I hate the Eagles, but I still hate the Packers.
And you know Jason Kelce will be around all in your face, and you're not a fan of the Kelces.
No, I hate both Kelces.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason's an all right guy, personally, but I don't like the Kelces because they played for 2 teams that I absolutely hate.
Okay. So going again. Do we want to go through the whole thing right now? Or from here, do we just... Or do we want to wait?
We have to remember our individual matchups, I think.
And do we want to make all the predictions now or wait until next week?
No, we make all the predictions because we got to predict a Super Bowl winner right now.
Okay. Well, I'll make the picture slightly smaller, and I'm changing it. Okay.
Nice.
There. Boom. Boom. We got the boom. Where's the dots? There's the dots. Dot. No. Dot. This is important.
Are you going to cut this part out?
Samuel. No, we are you're going to hear this process. So currently you have the Bills, you have the Ravens, you have the Chargers. And then I have the other teams, which are the same teams. Bills, Ravens. Do you want to add anything while I'm saying this stuff?
Yeah, so we're getting into our next round matchup here, which will be the divisional round. And so far, we have the same AFC side where it's Bills versus the Ravens, and it's going to be Chiefs versus the Chargers. But we have a different NFC picture, obviously. But we did have the Vikings moving on. We differed here where we had... Or Samuel took the Buccaneers to win, and I took the Commanders to win. And then Samuel took the Packers to win, but I took the Eagles to win.
Okay, so I think we can go now. I think we're good. We'll do AFC first because we have the same stuff. So the Chiefs in our scenarios will be playing the Chargers. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, Chiefs. Yeah, unfortunately. It's the Chiefs. It's nothing. They're going to beat the Chargers.
It's going to be a good game, but it's going to be one of those... It just seems inevitable games. Yeah. Like as much as the Chargers are going to do, I think the Chiefs are just going to be better coached, have better talent. It's going to be in Arrowhead. There's just too much going against the Chargers for them to win.
Okay. Ravens, Bills. 1, 2, 3, Bills. Yeah.
That's
Josh Allen's the guy.
It's hard.
He's the guy.
That's really hard. That's going to be, honestly, that might be the matchup of the playoffs. Because
I don't think it'll be as close as you think. I think it'll be a very hyped game, but I think Josh Allen will go off.
It's the two MVP candidates. Like it's going to be one or the other, and it's who's going to be the bigger Superman.
Joe Burrow. Dang it,
there it is. Dang it. I wish he did, but
I wanted him in so bad.
I know.
I wanted him in that.
So we have the same AFC Championship though, Chiefs Bills.
Yeah, which again will be great for saying who's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, this will be where it gets a little tricky. So
just remember for yourself. Yeah.
For you have the Commanders versus the Lions.
Yep.
You going to say who you want?
So Commanders Lions, it's going to be Lions in a blowout. Like 47 to 18.
Okay. And I have the Packers and Lions. I think the Packers will beat them for the third time.
What?
They'll be playing 3 games at that point.
They'll beat them in the third time.
They should have beaten them the second time, and the refs messed them over at the end. Packers should have won, especially if the Packers, where I have them being the Eagles, they will, at that point, they'll have the momentum. They'll beat the Lions in this scenario.
The Lions are hard.
Okay. So now you have the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, no. Wait. So you said your 2. Wait a second.
So
where am I at here?
I had the Lions beating the Commanders.
So now
you
have
Eagles Vikings.
Okay, so you have Eagles Vikings.
Yeah.
So who do you have between the Eagles and Vikings?
That's going to be a hard game. That's a low key good game if that happens. And I'm going to take. Wow, if it was in Minnesota, I would take Minnesota for sure.
But it will be in Philly in this scenario.
Yeah, it's going to be in Philly if they play each other.
Yes.
And so I'm going to take the Eagles. They just have a more talented running back. They have a more talented offense, and I trust their quarterback in bigger situations than I trust Sam Darnold. I want to see Sam Darnold do it first, so I'm going to take the Eagles.
So I got Bucks Vikings. While I was confident in Baker the first round, I think the Vikings will beat him here. I think Sam Darnold will be just hating on his haters, and he'll just go off and do what he's been doing with Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, Baker, but you will be taken down by the Vikings here.
Not Baker.
I know.
A butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker.
Okay, and now we're getting into our Super Bowl picks.
Yep.
Or actually, who's going to the Super Bowl?
Who is going to the Super Bowl? So we have, on one side, we have the AFC Championship game. I have it as we both have it as Bills versus Chiefs.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, Bills.
Wow.
And we're probably both going to be wrong.
I know.
But we're still going Bills, baby.
I really man, part of my bias is coming out here, but like objectively looking at it, I'm like, hey, the Bills are the only real team to beat the Chiefs this year. Yeah, they lost their game against their last game against the Broncos, but they didn't play anybody. And so I think the Bills, like if Josh Allen can just be Josh Allen and go Superman mode, there's just nothing the Chiefs can do. They have not been that good this year. If you actually look at it, Andy Reid's coaching has carried them to this 15-2 record. They act like they don't care the entire year, and now they're just expected to turn it on whenever they get to the playoffs. And it's like, well, I think Josh Allen's hungry. He wants it more, and he's really our last hope. So,
well, that is that. And now we're going NFC champ. You have the Eagles versus the Lions.
And I'm going to take the Lions.
Okay.
I think the Lions.
I feel like that's the easy pick there for you.
The Lions are, I think, a team of destiny. And it's just, man, they had
going back to the Super Bowl. They lost the 49ers last year.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they made it to the NFC Championship game, but they hadn't made it to the Super Bowl. I think it's just their time. If they're ever going to do it, it's going to be this year. And I think they have excellent coaching on the offensive side of the ball, excellent coaching on the defensive side of the ball. Ben Johnson's been awesome as an OC, and I think Aaron Glenn's been a fantastic defensive coordinator. They're both getting head coaching job interviews, and if they're ever going to do it, it's going to be this year. And I think they have their talented duo coming back at running back. They have good receivers. Their defense is piecing together and starting to get somewhat healthy, like don't look now kind of thing. So I think it's just inevitable. It's all going to run through Detroit too. They're getting every game at home. Jared Goff's better at home in the Dome. So I'm taking them to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I have the Packers. They are going to beat the Vikings because, again, they've lost 2 games to the Vikings. They're both like 3-point scores. Again, in this scenario where the Packers run through the Eagles, they run through Lions, they're going to run through the Vikings.
So the Packers are going to win 3 road games against the Eagles, the Vikings.
2011 World Super Bowl, they were the 6th seed and they won it all. This is very eerily the same as that year, besides the point that they dropped to a 7 seed because the Commanders beat the Cowboys.
Right.
So Packers will, again, beat the Eagles, who they lost to this year.
True.
And they'll prove the haters wrong there.
Of course.
They'll beat the Lions, who they've lost to twice this year, beat the haters there, and then go to their other rival, the Vikings, who they've lost to 2 times this year, beat them. And then at that point, they'll have beaten all the teams they have lost to this year, except for the Bears, because the Bears stink and are not in the playoffs.
True. So we
lost actually 6 games this year. I got that mixed up.
So the Packers are going to beat the 3 best teams in the NFC on the road at their place, and then probably beat the whoever you take in this or the Bills.
Well, I mean, we haven't got there yet.
Oh, okay.
So your Super Bowl pick between the Lions and the Bills.
This is going to be a really hard game, and I have no idea, honestly, but I would take where's the game being played? What stadium?
I can tell you.
Is it in Georgia?
Where is Super Bowl this year? It will be downtown LA.
Oh, it's going to be in SoFi?
I'm kidding. No, it's not there.
It's crazy.
It's New Orleans, Superdome.
In New Orleans. Okay, in the Superdome. That's a really epic venue. And Bills, Lions are both North teams. I think in the Dome, I expect the Lions to win the Super Bowl.
I figure you had to go there. You said they were the team of destiny. And if you wouldn't have picked them there when they're the team of destiny.
In my opinion, they are a team of destiny. Like everything seems to be going right for them this year. The play calling is phenomenal. They're on the offensive side of the ball, they're pretty healthy, and their O-line is excellent. They're like the head coach, Dan Campbell, is an excellent motivator of men too. And then you have these awesome coordinators. I'm like, the coaching can't get better than this. And then Jared Goff, like, sure, you'd rather have a better quarterback, but he's good enough to get here. And I think this is the peak that the Lions get to. Then they fall off a cliff. Like, they'll take a step down next year, then be really bad the year after that.
Yeah.
So I'm
because again, at that point, the Packers will be better next year as well.
True.
The Bears, in theory, should be better.
Commanders should be better.
And the Vikings, I think they'll drop off a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a more even division, but I think the Packers next year will run away with that division.
We'll see.
Bears will still get 4th.
I think the NFC North next year is going to be really interesting. It's not going to be as good, obviously, because everybody will be playing better schedules. Everybody's going to be getting worse draft picks.
Well, you say the better schedules, but a lot of the teams, they had to play against each other. Yeah. Who were the better teams in the first place?
Okay, if I was Ben Johnson and I'm looking around, I'm like, I might go to Chicago to be their head coach. You got Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. You got some cap space. You can kind of do what you want to do. So I might take them. But Lions winning the Super Bowl.
No. The Packers are winning the Super Bowl. They are beating the Bills. They are a team of destiny at this point. Jordan Love, they thought he was going to be out for the season.
True.
And he came back like 3 games later with Malik Willis holding down the fort during that time and winning 2 games.
You mean Josh Jacobs holding down the fort?
Malik Willis helped. He had the highest quarterback rating in football through like a minimum of like 100 snaps this year.
That's crazy.
Or something. At like that point in time, like it was like a crazy high rating because with Josh Jacobs' help, but somehow he was going nuts, which is still crazy. I don't really believe it, but it was happening. And again, I just want to point out the Packers are winning the Super Bowl whether Jordan Love plays or not.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Malik Willis is the quarterback of destiny. He starts. I forgot to say that this whole time. He's actually going to be the starting quarterback in all these games. He's going to beat the Eagles, who came in and just fell apart for those 2 snaps or 1 snap when Jordan Love went down. He's going to go in and do what Jordan Love cannot do, and he's going to beat the Lions, and he's going to beat the Vikings, and then he's going to beat the Bills, and then get a $400 million contract from the New York Giants and become horrible.
That's crazy.
But realistically,
so he's gonna pull a Deshaun Watson
in this scenario with the Packers beating the Eagles, Lions, and Vikings. Knowing this in your head, would you pick the Packers or the Bills, knowing that they beat those 3 teams ahead of time with that momentum?
In reality, I'd have to see how the games look. Like, are they doing something like crazy? Like, oh wow, Jordan Love's like turning into Superman, and all these things are going right for them.
He's playing like he played against the Cowboys last year.
Like, essentially, is Jordan Love being Josh Allen, but on the Packers? If he's doing that, then I would take the Packers.
Yeah.
But if they're winning like these like fluky games or like sneaking it out at the end, I would pick against them every round. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting. Our picks are locked, and they are in there. We'll see who wins. What we have the NFC North winning a Super Bowl
That's
for
true.
the first time since 2011 when the Packers won the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So it'll be even though it was the 2010 season, but it was played in February 2011.
True.
So that's where we're at with our Sports Talk segment.
That wasn't our Sports Talk segment.
That's where we have on our main segment.
Nice. But you know what it is time for? If you're tired of sports, we can talk to you about something way more interesting, which is Dane's Manifesto. Welcome back to Dane's Manifesto. If you're driving, you knew better than that. Come on, guys. Go ahead and pull over. If you are walking, don't sit in the snow, but find somewhere cozy, get some hot chocolate, pour you a cup of Mountain Dew, and get ready for part 46 of Dane's Manifesto.
I clicked early.
It's okay, because you don't know what I was going to say there.
No.
Now, for Dane's Manifesto, you may be thinking...
I clicked both.
You might be thinking, wow, I had a really good New Year's. But what if I told you that you didn't have Dane's New Year's?
No, you didn't.
Or better said, Dane's Manifesto New Year's. I want to beat other people. So
tell us how your New Year's is better.
I'm just going to paint you a word picture of how my New Year's Eve had ended up at one point in the night. Let's just say that the Buick was parked sideways across my front lawn. Jake's Body Shop was passed out in the driver's seat. The door was open, blaring Usher, and I was nowhere to be found.
I don't think he was passed out. I think he was just vibing.
No, this was a real thing that happened at some point on New Year's Eve. Is that
Jake? What are you doing?
My Buick was parked across, like sideways in the front lawn. Jake's passed out in the front seat. The door is open to the Buick, and Usher's blaring throughout the neighborhood. I'm nowhere to be found.
I don't know what's happening.
This really happened. And out of context, this sounds really funny.
Yeah. I don't. Do you want to add clarity so it's not as funny?
This was also at 7 p.m.
What is happening? Did you get locked out of the house?
No. So we drove and got some stuff that we wanted for New Year's Eve. Jake got a little bit of alcohol. And then
it all makes sense now.
Dane got a root beer and 2 tall boys of Mountain Dew.
You're like, this is the last time for a year. You got to go out on a high note.
That's literally when I started thinking about it. I was like, should I just give up Mountain Dew for the year?
You're drinking the most soda at one time you have.
That's why I bought 2. I was like, just in case, I'm going to try and make tonight memorable. So we drove and got the stuff, and then we're driving to the place that we're going to, and we're like, oh wait, we forgot my laptop so that we could stream the college football playoff game that was happening that night. It was Boise State, Penn State. And so we drive back, and I just park it sideways in the front lawn. And then I open the door. I was playing Usher. And if you want to know what song, it was Burned by Usher. And then I ran inside. And when I came back out, Jake was pretending to be asleep in the front seat.
See, now it's not as funny.
I know.
It sounded wild at first, and now it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. But then we went and we spent New Year's Eve with two of our friends, Toby and Trey, who spent a year in Italy as missionaries.
You're making friends.
And then also they had their friends, Serge and Elice, who are Serge is the pastor of our partner in Italy at our Italian church. I don't know what they call the church there.
Yep.
But so he speaks pretty good English, but his wife did not. And she spoke some English, but not very well. And so we played games together. We toasted the New Year's together. And we had an authentic Italian meal, which was called something.
Pizza.
No, it was some sort of pasta. It was
Fazoli's.
I wish it would have. Fazoli's is better. I won't lie. Like, it was good, but it was like the meat was pig's cheek. And
which cheek?
I don't. Not butt, Samuel. It was actually from their cheek, like face cheek. And it was good. It tasted like bacon. But the pasta itself was like a creamy Alfredo, but it was like really thick. And I was like, oh man, I need to lay down after I ate it.
Yeah.
And we sat at the table forever talking about just differences between Italy and America. And they said something in Italy that they do that I was like not blown away by, but like I was like, oh, that wouldn't fly here. Is they do a finger wag, like no. Like if you could picture Bakende Matumbo's finger wag, like taking your index finger and just wagging it back and forth. They like Edna Mode, if you know that, wagging it back and forth.
Yeah.
They do that in Italy all the time.
Oh yes, darling.
Like if you walk up, they said if you were to walk up to a place and it was closed and somebody was in there, they would just give you a finger wag like that. And I was like, that's not happening in America.
You're like, no.
And they said if you go up to somebody on the streets and they like or just like you ask them like, is this like are these samples free? They would just finger wag at you. No. And I'm like, well, you're getting fought in America if you do that. And we told them that. We're like, oh, we would take that as like a challenge. And they were like, no, that like just means like no, kind of, sort of. And I'm like, no, that's not in America.
They're like, we wave a different finger.
Yeah, we wave a different finger. And I'm like, that's crazy. And they also, like, they said if you go up to like a counter to order something, like they don't like attentively come to the counter and just go, hey, can I get something for you?
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that part before.
Yeah, they'll just like be like, why are you bothering us? Like, and I'm like,
they
that's
like
crazy.
Don't want you there. Again, they aren't getting tips.
Yeah,
because we have this stupid culture in Missouri, but also the U.S. Like, we got to tip everybody. I'm like, it's kind of dumb.
It is dumb. So what I'm saying is you need to make your New Year's Eve more memorable and have a Dane's Manifesto New Year's. And just remember, the year of 2025 is the year of going all out, making it memorable, and we're going to do the dang thing because this was the slowest smile.
Dang it, no.
I can't believe how perfectly timed that was. I was in the middle of a rant. But you're going to do it this year, people. You're going to make 2025 your year, and it's going to be a year of Dane's Manifesto. Thank you for joining us.
So it's probably good Lauren and I did not join you.
I don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't have liked it. Like, it was weird. Like,
no Quiplash?
No, you wouldn't have known these people, and it would have been like, well, they would be like, who are these people?
I think I just kind of pictured you doing something with like your run club or something crazy, or with Hill City people.
Yeah, I
a little
almost
crazier, I'm saying, on that.
Yeah. I almost did, but it was one of those scenarios like they were talking about doing this, and then I was like, well, do I lock this in? Do I not? Do I want to do something different? And I was like, well, I don't want to run the risk of not having any plans, so I'll commit to this, and then committed to that. So
cool.
Didn't do anything with the run club, but they had a party. I just didn't
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I'm in the run club, just have never ran with them.
Yeah, you follow the Instagram.
I'm in the Strava. I'm in the Insta.
Yeah.
I consider voting on some of those polls when they're like, hey, don't vote on this unless you'll show up. And I'm like,
you should
kind of want to click.
You should vote.
But yeah, that was Dane's Manifesto. And now it's that time of the week where, again, it is the voice memo segment. And really, this song doesn't really say voice memos, but we play it anyways. So I guess just here we go once I get to it. And here we go. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
So yes, we are back to the voice memos. If you want to leave us voice memos, go to the Instagram, send us a message, and we'll play them no matter what.
No matter what.
Almost. There's a chance we might bleep out stuff if it
We will
gets too
censor you
crazy.
if you do crazy things.
Yeah, so we have Jack Holmgren first, and we'll see if he's funny. That's all I really got to say. So here is his joke.
What do you call fake noodles? An impasta.
Yeah, that was easy. No, Jake.
Nope.
No, Jack. You don't even deserve to be called Jack right now.
Yeah. You deserve to be called Fake Jack.
Did you hear my joke earlier about the more men joke with the Latter-day Saints? That was a good joke.
Samuel wants more men.
Yeah, that's what I want. So if you want to give us more men next week, do better.
Ew.
But we still want you to keep sending in jokes because we enjoy it, Jack. So thank you for sending in your jokes with Jack. We also have some voice memos from the Lindsay Reed, which I considered playing these next week because we're going a little long, but we'll just go with it. We'll see what happens. They won't be too long.
Play
They'll be
'em.
kind of quick. I'm playing it right now. So here we go. First one is Youth of America.
Hello, until next week podcast. This is my very brief Youth of America
Brief.
update, which is only after one day of being back from winter break. And this one's funny.
Don't start with
Obviously,
that.
at this point, I'm very pregnant, about 37 weeks pregnant, going on 38 by the time the podcast hears this. And one of my students passed by me in the hallway and looked at me and said, "So when's it gonna explode?" And I just died laughing because I just love
The youth.
that question.
Okay, that was funny.
Well, yeah.
Your delivery is just excellent.
Lindsay's weird.
Whatever having that baby in you has done, it's made you funnier.
Baby Adolf.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, her due date's like end of January, and apparently I'm not allowed to be there on the day
You
of.
said this before. You
Yeah.
said the grandparents get their time.
Whatever.
And you get later. But who cares about that? Because now we're going to learn about geography. So here we go.
Next, I feel the need to correct some geography skills between both Dane and Samuel.
What?
No.
Dane mentioned something about doing a ministry job in Colorado.
Oh.
And Samuel said that currently Missouri is bordering Nebraska, and if Dane were to move to Colorado, that he would no longer be bordering Nebraska, and that's completely false because Colorado does border the west side of Nebraska. And actually,
barely.
if Dane were to move to Greeley, Colorado, which is where this church is at the University of Northern Colorado, he would be the same distance, not the same, but pretty close, the same distance as he is from me right now. It's about 5.5, 6 hours from me now, being in Springfield, Missouri to Omaha, Nebraska, and from Omaha, Nebraska to Greeley, Colorado, it's like 6.5. So it's actually very comparable, but the most important part is that Colorado does
Have
border
weed.
Nebraska, Samuel.
Okay. I always just kind of picture Nebraska as that random state that barely touches Missouri. So in my mind, I feel like Colorado is slightly farther south and a little farther west, but I guess they are southwest, but enough to touch Nebraska, barely.
Well, I think there's an important question that we need to bring up here right now to the American people, and more importantly to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska or Missouri, which one's better?
Are you saying for me?
Yeah, for you,
I mean,
in your opinion.
Missouri is
Obviously,
much better
it's
than Nebraska.
obviously
Nebraska
better.
doesn't really have anything.
Yeah, Lindsay, what is there? Corn and open
I'm
wasteland.
happy for you,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like Kansas. There's nothing
Yeah.
really there.
Kansas sucks.
And same with like South Dakota.
Illinois sucks too.
Or like a lot of those random states, there isn't a lot. And yes, there might be some beauty there. But Missouri, first of all, very cool state shape. It's a goated shape of a state.
it's something.
And then we also have St. Louis.
True.
We got Kansas City.
Big
We got
cities.
Springfield.
Yep.
And then if you want to go to Columbia for whatever reason, you could. Branson. You can't beat Branson.
Vegas of the Midwest.
Missouri has so much, and it's. You
I'll
can't
give
beat it.
Nebraska one thing. They have the College World Series there.
Yeah.
That's it. Other than that, all they have is pain and struggle.
Yeah. So also don't try to give Dane ideas of saying it'll be good for him to move to Colorado, because that means we might not be able to do this anymore.
That's crazy.
So just don't give him any good ideas. Don't try to tell him, hey, reach your dreams, go take the ministry job, which might be good for you, because this is more important.
I need to get promoted at my job.
I'm just talking to you right now, though, Lindsay. I'm not talking to Dane. Dane doesn't hear any of this.
I don't hear anything.
No. Then also, she did leave one last voice memo, which was kind of long. So I should start playing it now just in case. And I lost it, and now I found it. It is her history of cars.
Oh, thank goodness.
And now I feel the need to defend my car
Your
situation
honor.
And then just roast Dane,
What?
of course.
Wow.
So I'm going to go through the cars that I have had in my time. I'm 26 years old.
Old.
I'm almost 27.
Old.
So this has been 11 years of driving. My very first car was a 2002 Buick Rendezvous. It was old and lots of miles, whatever. My parents had it for a little bit before me. When I turned 16, they gave it to me. I drove it for just shy of a year, and then the transmission went out. When the transmission went out, I was still 16 years old. My parents decided that it was not worth... Whoa! Sorry. Traffic.
She just crashed.
Literally wrecking her car.
My parents decided it was not worth fixing. So instead, I got like a, 2003 Ford Escape. So again, pretty old, lots of miles, loved that car.
I remember
Drove that car for 6 days, which I know sounds really bad, but it's true. I got in a wreck. The wreck was not my fault. Dane's going to try to make it seem like it was, but it was not my fault. So much so that I got insurance money out of that wreck. But it totaled the car. And I got a concussion.
True.
Anyways, after that, so I was
16.
Not even 17 at that point. After that, I was kind of scared to drive for a while, and so I just was like driving my dad's truck when I had to. Eventually, I got a different car. I got like a 2007 Chrysler Sebring.
I remember that.
At this point, I was 17 years old. I drove that car for about 3.5 years. And then the transmission, like nothing big was wrong with it, but there was several minor-ish to medium things, and ultimately my parents decided that it really just wasn't worth keeping the car, wasn't of much value, blah blah blah. And so in 2018, when I was 20 years old, they got me a Ford Focus, and I have had this Ford Focus since I was 20 years old, so about 6.5 years. Well, more than that. Well, no. I've had this car for going on 7 years, and it's paid off. I don't have any problems with it because I take really great care of it. I don't have to swap cars with my parents because I'm an adult.
Whoa.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I was like, I see it 2 seconds left. I'm like, is she going to say anything here? What I got out of that is that even with a concussion, she's a better hunter than you.
No,
that's what I
not.
pulled from that 2-minute and 42-second voice memo.
No, what the candidate to the other end of the microphone, not Samuel, but Lindsay, is trying to say here is that because she somehow went through 4 cars, she's somewhat better than me. However, did I make a poor financial choice? Of course. Did America make a poor financial choice? Who hasn't? And, but when she uses the term adult, my opponent, Lindsay Reed, is wrong because you do not become an adult until you become married. Everybody knows that. And then she's been married for 95 years or whatever now. And then also, I've had cancer, Lindsay. I don't know what you want me to do. I also have ulcerative colitis. I also am just having a tough time in general.
This is a therapy session for him.
Yeah. And so if I was married, that'd be one thing. If I didn't have cancer, that'd be one thing. If I didn't have ulcerative colitis, that'd be another thing. If also I didn't make poor financial decisions, that's the only thing that's my fault. And maybe the marriage thing.
There's a combo between a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And you know what is true? The only thing that we all know is true is that
if Jesus Christ is our number one sponsor of the week. But hey, we're not getting into that yet.
Yes.
What were you saying though?
Is that Lindsay Reed is a hater. And if she didn't hate on me so much, maybe we'd have a few things accomplished by now. So that's all there is to say.
Okay. There we go. We'll try to get through the rest of this kind of quick because Dane's checking his watch and he wants to go watch football. So
starts in 9 minutes.
Oh yeah, you'll miss a little bit, but not much.
No.
Quickly, we're gonna go through the responses from some past episodes. One of which was episode 105 because we didn't say anything with that before. And that was Florida Man, episode 105. Here we go. Jack Holmgren. With this episode being titled Florida Man, I'm surprised there isn't an explicit tag to warn the youth of America. Ali Hoobie put, the fact that I'm so good at fantasy football that I'm a threat to Dane's pride and could be on his top 10 haters list is truly an honor and a privilege. Joshua just put in quotation marks, I could help. I don't remember the context there.
I don't know the context.
I don't know either, but he put 2 laughing emojis, so I guess it was great. Angela Birdwell put, Happy New Year's, guys. Please, someone get Dane a girl for New Year's Eve. Well, we're past that now, Angela.
It didn't happen.
He needs to cross that off his bucket list.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then Elizabeth Virgil put, wow, Dane really started preaching. So good, with a clapping emoji. Also, enjoyed the phone calls. Happy 2025.
Happy 2025.
We had a poll on Florida Man, and it said, should we randomly call more friends of the podcast? And with 100% of the vote, yes,
wow.
It adds some chaos. So I guess keep randomly calling friends.
See?
Not right now, though. Not right now.
Yeah, right now it's too late.
Yeah.
But I do what I do.
Episode 106, we'll go through those responses. It was called Let's Be Toxic. And again, Jack Holmgren, he's always like the first one just jumping in that comment section. He put, need more 5-star reviews. More reviews means potentially free merch. Potentially free merch could be for me. Say less, I'm on it.
See?
Angela Birdwell put, I have a birthday coming up next month, so I would love to buy some merch. It's got to be cute, though.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know if I know who this is. Alex Bass? Is that it?
One of my old coworkers.
But man, that Alex guy sounds super awesome and hilarious. I bet he's really smart.
Here's the thing. You know what happened? Keenan
listened,
listened
like, listen
and
to
told
this,
Alex.
listen to
Yeah,
this.
that's what happened.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Actually, I got $1 that says Alex didn't even listen to the podcast.
That's good.
Because he only
good.
listens to conspiracy theory podcasts.
Hey, that's us. That is us. I hate that I always forget because it's. Do you remember
Keenan? Alex is a communist. Tell him I said that.
Do you remember? I can't remember. I feel like they explained some point, and I feel like we've had this discussion before. But Nat, N-A-T.
It's Natalie something.
I think that might be it.
I don't know.
I'm going blank. I'm
Reveal
sorry.
yourself again.
We have bad memory. The concussion that Lindsay got pushed onto us somehow.
It splashed us.
It said, love to see Dane's theological skills at play in the sponsor of the week segment. ... His passion for the Lord is obvious, and I can tell he loves teaching.
I do.
So shout out.
But I don't have any skills.
And then finally, Ryan Rockwell. He put this in 3 hours ago.
Dang it.
He put GGs to all in the Fantasy Football League. Let us not focus on the fact I won, but rather that collusion does not prevail.
Dang it.
And then finally, the poll on Let's Be Toxic was, do you want merch? With 100% of the vote, which means there was 5,000 votes. It said, yes, I'll Insta DM you, which a lot of people have. We will figure out if any more people want it, and then we'll try to figure out what we can do to get that out to you most effectively. And
is it enough to where we're actually considering making it?
Well, we'll make it. It's just depending on if Lauren's going to be making it or if we need to go somewhere else to make it.
I'm not making it.
No, I know you're not making it.
I have 1 or 2 friends that could design something, but I don't know how to make it.
We would probably just do the same thing that kind of mine already looked like.
I don't care.
Most likely. That's probably the plan.
A giant thing of our faces?
No, our podcast, until next week.
Yeah,
and
U
the
and
font,
W.
Probably just kind of on like the... Not with a front pocket, but where a front pocket would be.
We should have a frocket.
What it would be. That costs a lot more, though.
But just for us.
Oh, just for us.
Yeah.
Well, I already got the merch.
Well, no, but we have a front pocket one just for us.
We can see. We can see. We can talk deets.
I want a long sleeve shirt, too.
So, yeah, that was it for all of those. And, yeah, time for sponsors of the week. Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Yeah. This, depending on how much football you see or miss, is how fast or effective you do your preaching. Because we're on part 3. Actually, part 3 in the 4-week series. We did the 4 parts of part 2. So
just trust Jesus, guys.
Here we go. It's like, okay, next.
That's it. So we're in part 3 of 4 of this 4-week series that ended up being like an 8-week series because
7 weeks, Dane.
7. I don't know math. I just know the scriptures a little bit.
Yeah.
So in part 3 here, we're talking about this is all under the umbrella of fighting for joy whenever it comes to your life and how you fight for joy whenever it comes to being a follower of Christ. And so this week's theme is enjoying life with Jesus. And so there's 3 verses that kind of went with it here. It's Ecclesiastes 11:9. Rejoice, young man, during your childhood, and let your heart be pleasant during the days of your young manhood, which that can also apply to woman and womanhood. And then Philippians 4:4, rejoice always, or rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. And then John 15, verse 14, you are my friends if you do what I command you, which I don't know what that means, but out of context, I don't know what that means. And so as I start thinking about it here, enjoying life with Jesus, and first off, like a joy is a fruit of the Spirit. We've kind of addressed that, but then I started even kind of thinking about it, like it goes love, then immediately after love, it lists joy. And so I'm not saying there's a hierarchy of the fruits of the Spirit, all 9 of them, but I am saying, like, whenever the Holy Spirit was revealing the fruits of the Spirit, it listed love first, which obviously love is huge and is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But then right after that, number 2 is joy. That's the second thing that the Holy Spirit wanted to mention whenever it came to the fruits of the Spirit. So fighting for joy it seems to be pretty important. And then I've also, in like the brief research I did for this, like there's a lot of verses about joy. And then there's another thing that kind of comes to my mind whenever I think about enjoying life with Jesus is that joy is oftentimes a choice. And so what I mean by that is, yes, there are circumstances in our life that make life maybe somewhat not enjoyable, but I think, now I hit my microphone, but I think I can speak for a lot of us whenever I say like it's a choice, because we have all been in, or I shouldn't say speak for all of us, but I've been in times where I've had like more like stuff and status and money, and I've also been in times where I've had none of those things. And the idea, I've had like joy in both seasons, but whenever I chose to do so, whenever I chose to put my own selfish ambitions aside and started to find joy in things that weren't myself and weren't dependent on myself, because having joy, if it's dependent on me, will never stand. If it's dependent on us, it's not going to last. It's not going to stand, because that's fleeting happiness. Joy can only come from the Lord. Otherwise, it's happiness. And so, in light of that, I start to think, what's like a practical way you can like walk in that? How do you walk in joy? How do you choose joy? Well, easily and practically, like you can just think of things that bring you joy. And whenever I think of things that bring me joy, I think of a like spring or fall day where the temperatures are like a little bit cold, and I start to drive around and I listen to good country music. I enjoy country music. And so I even have a playlist called The Good Stuff, and then I'll hit shuffle on that, and then I just literally go for a drive and I listen and sing to these songs, and I think about how cool it is that the Lord would have us be born in a day and a time where we can have Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you have, and you can just play any song you want to right now. Like imagine if people had that like back in the day. Imagine if people had cars back in the day. Imagine all of these things, and yet we have access to technology where we can just go and choose these things and like have these things. And even within that, like what we can call a friend and have a deep conversation with them. We can call people and just have like these moments that make life worth living, because we start to see how God has built us for community and being around others. Like Hill City, the church that we go to, their whole like tagline and their benediction at the end of the sermon is "Be with people as sent people." And so
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. That's what they say at the end of every week. And so it's being with people a lot of times, but it's what is that joyful thing for you. And whenever you find yourself struggling to choose joy, go to those things, like not as a crutch, but as a, you know what, maybe like it's okay to have like ice cream today. Maybe it's okay to just go on a drive. Maybe it's okay to just call that friend who you haven't talked to in a while, but you know always makes you smile at the end of that conversation. And so what are those things for you? And then secondly, we can always choose joy in this life or enjoy life with Jesus because we know how the story ends. Like we know that at the end of this life, like it's not fleeting. Like this is just the one shot we have at things like the pagans believe. We have a love and a joy and a knowledge because we know that Jesus is going to come and defeat sin and death once and forever. And he's making his kingdom here on earth through us, like one at a time. Each of us are choosing Jesus and God calling us out of this world. And we get to finally walk with Jesus, and we get to read his scriptures and see that, hey, like this is going somewhere. Like we're not walking aimlessly in life trying to make more money. We're walking knowing that there is a savior who like radically loves us. I shouldn't say radically, who boldly loves us and boldly sent his son Jesus to die on the cross as payment for our sins. And so we no longer have to pay for those sins. And that's how cool that is. And so you can hear kind of the passion like in my voice behind that. And so we know how the story ends. And so in that ending, we can have joy because even these sufferings right now, I can't remember. Oh, this is just coming to my head right now, but we can't compare the afflictions of this momentary life compared to the joy that is waiting for us in heaven. It's something like that. I can remember. If you're listening, you can look it up at home. But then that reminds me of John 10:28
Go off,
through
King.
29.
Go off.
Yeah, it's kind of long now, but it's John chapter 10 verses 28 and 29. It says, I give them eternal life and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of the Father's hand. And so when we talk about how we know the story ends, well, that's how we know the story ends, because God has like chosen us. Like, think about that. Like, you're hearing this message right now. Like, it's like everything in your life has built up to this moment where you are listening to this message right now, to where God wants you to hear this right now. I'm not saying that like this is God just putting me up on this stool in a sense, but like he's orchestrated your life to where we have technology to where you can hear this right now. He's organized my life to where I've read his scriptures and like I believe this is what he's saying. And so that like the story ending, like we know that right there. And so the last thing is set your mind on things that are above. Whenever you start thinking about joy, you think of Colossians chapter 3, verses 2 through 4. Set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on earth, for you have died and your life is hidden with Christ. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also appear with him in glory. Again, set your mind on things that are above, which is how the story ends above. So it's Jesus and we were enjoying life with him. That's the point of everything. And so that is week 3 of 4 of Fighting for Joy.
For a second.
No applause for me.
Sorry. Only for Jesus.
Only for Jesus.
For a second when you're like part 3 of 4 of what you said, what was the part you said? Part 3 of 4 of
Fighting for Joy.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say part 3 of 4 of 5
of 5.
Fighting for Joy. So yes,
Fighting for Joy.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Big
Number
ups
1,
Jesus.
Sponsor of the week. Number 2, sponsor of the week is Jake Trustnark. Jake is probably I don't know. He's being passed out in the car in the in the lawn. I don't know, but we'll keep him there. We'll keep him there as number 2, and then Reverend Banks.
Reverend Banks might get replaced one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the only one that's like legit there is Jake Trustnark because he got us our start.
Yeah, he got us our start. We started in his home. He actually donated money to us somewhat. It was a quarter.
I forgot he gave us a quarter.
Yeah.
Gave us some art pieces that we gave out to fans, but the fans never actually took them.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it's not.
I think I still have those pieces. But anyways, number 2 sponsors of the week, Jake Trustnark, Jake's Body Shop, Reverend Banks. And number 3 sponsor of the week. I don't
Reluctantly.
I don't want to say it.
Popeyes?
Ryan Rockwell.
Wow.
Reiner. He won the league, quote unquote, fair and square. But I mean, there was collusion that allowed you to win.
That's true.
I just want to say
if we didn't collude, you wouldn't win.
No, don't say that part. I'm just saying there was collusion that led to you winning that league. So I don't know how you feel about it, but you got to be better next year.
Hey, Ryan, you should hear Samuel off air. He talks all kinds of smack on your team.
So much. But yeah, you did win. So congrats. You got 3 claps. That's it. And now some final thoughts. Reach out if you want to make clips for us. Friday Pickleball, Samuel 14434. Use that code on Friday Pickleball's website to get $5 off, I believe, whatever their lowest price is for 2 paddles. And you can get that discount. Give some kickback to us. Mainly, really, it's just me.
Yes,
which,
do it.
Which ultimately goes to you as well.
Sure.
Dane's ministry support. Again,
help me become a pastor.
Yes. So keep giving. The link's in the bio. That'd be great, especially for the back half of his residency.
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, keep telling your friends if you enjoy the podcast. That is the best way to get it growing. And like Dane said earlier, one of his coworkers told another coworker who commented, and we're just going to assume that he's a big fan now.
He has to be.
And then also, just leave 5 stars, leave voice memos. Really, you don't need to follow TikTok anymore because that's probably going to be deleted.
No.
But follow the Instagram for important updates. And then also, again, if you want merch, send us a message. We'll get the details figured out and then message you all back. And thank you again for listening to episode 107 of the Until Next Week podcast.
Samuel dropped his phone in the toilet.